Namaste, yogis. This class is a Hatha class, and we are focusing on some nice deep twisting here. It's a half-hour class, but it's going to get you in nice and deep, even though it's short. So I hope you enjoy. Let's start. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Bring your big toes to touch each other and open your knees out wide to the sides of your mat. Press the hips back, stretch your arms forward, sink your forehead down to the floor. Taking a few long, deep breaths in and out. Relaxing into your chest. Softening across the shoulder blades and into the back of your neck. Allow your backs of your thighs to melt down towards your calves and sink even deeper into your shin bones. Now, keeping your left arm forward, we're going to take a twist, threading the right arm under your chest. So taking right shoulder to the ground and turning your face to the side, sinking the right ear towards the mat, and holding this shape. Oh, we notice the breath again. And with each out breath, sinking into your pelvis, relax into your feet and your toes. And soften into the right side of your neck and into your right shoulder. Now reaching your right arm forwards again, we change. Take the left arm under, turning your head in the opposite direction. Keep stretching long through the right arm and breathing gently. Each out breath, feel the sink of the inner thighs. And now reaching the left arm forwards again. Sinking your forehead, stretching out evenly through both arms. And then look forwards towards your thumbs, and we're going to slide up onto forearms, coming into a sphinx. Now make sure that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Don't have the elbows back. They can be directly under shoulders or in line with shoulders, or you can take them further forwards. And softening into your ribs. You have the option here of looking forwards or dropping your forehead down to relax your neck. Whatever you're doing with your head, your neck, and your shoulders, check in with your feet and make sure that your heels are pointing straight up. Don't turn the heels in towards each other. That tightens and narrows your lower back. Noticing how your rib cage is moving right now as you breathe. Melting into the spinal column and softening into your upper back. Now from here, we're making our way up onto hands and knees. So slide the palms back, push up to all fours, bring your knees under your hips, arms and wrists under shoulders, and spread your fingers on the mat. With your next in-breath, arch into the spine. As you breathe out, rounding your back up. Keep rolling with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Nice deep, full breaths in and out to help you release the tension in the back. Try to keep your elbows straight. And then we're going to come back into a flat back. So once you're there, bring your calves in a little bit closer so that your knees touch and your feet touch. Keep the shoulders over your wrists, and we're going to roll the hips from side to side. On an out breath, you roll down. On an in breath, lifting to center. So this might feel a little bit strained on the wrist joints. If that's the case for you, you can turn your hands out slightly, or you can even do this on fists. And if you're doing it on fists, make sure your inner wrists face each other, and the thumb will face forward. Keep the toes on the ground. And next time you bring your hips up to center, you're going to stay there. Just take it into a seated pose. Don't change directions. Sit back onto your heels and slide your hips off to the right. So your feet go off to the left, hips to the right. Open your knees out wide, and then try to even the pelvis. Square the hips. Lifting your heart high, we take a twist. Turning towards your right thigh and knee. If it's uncomfortable for your neck, you look forwards. Otherwise, turning your face in the direction of your chest. Feel how those in-breaths are naturally uplifting in the torso, and increase that lift with each in-breath. Stretching up evenly through both sides of your neck as well. And you keep that length in the spine, the neck, and the top of the head as you circle forward. Or change legs, so circle them forwards and around to the other side. Open your knees up nice and wide so that the hips can drop down. Sink the legs and relax the feet to take a twist around to the other side. Once you're in the twist, get even heavier in your hips, heavy in the thighs, but not in your ribs. Don't sink the ribs down. Keep lifting your ribs all the way up away from your hips. Each in-breath growing a little bit taller. And untwisting yourself. And we're going to swing the legs forward. Bring your feet together, big toes touching each other, knees point straight up. And from here, bend your right knee up. So we're going into Marichasana, right foot on the floor, either holding on with your left hand or wrapping your elbow around your leg. Twist the right arm back behind you. Check that foot is still flexed in front of you. Then take the full twist all the way around. You have three ways you can turn your head here. You can look forwards in the direction of your straight leg. You can look out to the side in the direction of your chest, or looking back over your right shoulder. And make sure that you keep taking that right shoulder towards your spine. Don't let it move towards your chest. Feel the breath as it moves through you right now. And then twisting forwards. You're going to drop that right knee straight out to the side in a Janu Shasana leg. This foot is still flexed. Twist around to the other side. Now, careful with this right shoulder. Keep it moving back away from the chest, even though your ribs are twisting around to the left. So ribs and chest go to the left. Right shoulder goes back in the opposite direction of your bent knee. Let the right thigh really sink. And then twisting forwards. Keep your back up straight as we change sides. Right leg straight, left knee bends up. We're twisting off to the same side. Hold on with the right hand or elbow. And as you twist, make sure that you're not sliding this left thumb back. Keep pressing down. And the more you twist your waist and your ribs, the more you're going to actually move that left thumb forwards towards your right foot. Keep growing tall, lifting up out of the lower back. Our temptation is always to get really heavy in the upper body when we're doing seated poses. Unless you're forward bending, then you don't want to work with heaviness in the upper body. Keep lifting ribs up high, away from your hips. And then circling forward, drop the left knee down, lift your heart high, keep this right foot flexed as you twist around to the opposite side. Right, so again, we're twisting your chest to the right, but this left shoulder doesn't go around with it. Left shoulder moves back away from the chest. Left hand can pull against the thigh or turn away from it. Do what's best for your shoulder alignment. Keep checking in with your breath to help grow yourself taller. And then untwisting. And we're to come into cross ankles. You take a moment here to release the shoulders. You take a few shoulder rolls in one direction. And then rolling around in the opposite direction. And let the shoulders sink. Bring fingers to shoulders. Elbows touch in front of your chest, and we're going to circle again. You take your elbows down, out, and back, and up and around. Bring your elbows together each time they come in front of your chest. If you want to move with a breath, it's down on an out breath, back up and open on an in breath. Feel super heavy in the thighs and knees, sinking them down deep. And then change and circle in the opposite direction. Still bringing elbows to touch each time they go forward or as close together as possible. And now next time elbows are back, we're going to reach the arms back as well. Interlace your fingers behind you. So this is what the hands look like. Interlace, your palms face your back. Don't turn your palms away from you. That's a strange twist on the wrist that we don't want right now. So lift the heart, take the shoulders all the way back. And then drop your chin to your throat and lengthen through the back of the neck by pressing down with your forearms away from the shoulders. That action lengthens the neck muscles. It also lengthens the muscles on each side of your spinal column. And then releasing. Keep chin to throat as you bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. We're going to move into some head rolls here. So dropping your right ear to your right shoulder and then rolling your head all the way back, chin up, left ear to left shoulder, and keep rolling with the breath. So as you go back and around, that's your in breath. As you circle down and under, that's your out breath. Roll in your own time. And as you move, notice what's happening to your shoulders. Are they dropping forwards towards your chest? Lift them up and roll them back towards your spine. Keep those eyes nice and soft here. Eyes can be closed. Keep rolling. And next time your chin points down to your throat, your nose points towards the floor, take a pause. We'll change and roll in the opposite direction. Left ear to left shoulder. Head circles all the way back towards your spine. Right ear to right shoulder. And then chin to throat where you started. Keep noticing the breath. If you can move with the breath, you're tuning into your nervous system to help release all these little air bubbles that you're hearing crackling around, helping to release the tension in the muscles in the neck and shoulders. Soften into your mouth, relax your whole face, and check those shoulders are still moving towards your spine. You haven't started to round your back. You're going to complete the circle that you're on. And when chin comes to throat, you just pause there a moment to relax into the neck, relax your throat, soften your face again, particularly the eyes and the forehead. And then on an inhale, lifting your chin. We're going into Baddha Konasana. Slide the knees open away from each other, soles of the feet together, not holding the toes, holding the ankles. Let's do a few bounces here. Keep the chest up high. Okay, now letting the legs release and relax. Hook your left fingers over your right ankle. Take the right arm back behind you and just have a look here. So we want the hand as close to the ankle as you can get it. The higher you go up towards the knee, the more likely you will do this, lifting the leg up. That's quite an exaggeration, but that often happens. There's a little bit of a lift that tightens the inner groin. So rather hold by the ankle and then circle around. Let those shin bones drop. But with each in-breath, lifting your back ribs up away from the lower back, lifting your upper back up away from your lower ribs. Keep that lift as you circle forwards. Hook the right fingers over the left leg and circle around to the other side. Again, make sure you're not pulling the knee or the shin bone up. Sink them down. Hold as close to the ankle as is possible for you. Noticing your breath. Each time you breathe out, feeling the sink of the inner thighs, sink of the inner groins. And now I'm twisting, and we're going to do one more seated twist before moving on to hands and knees again. Stretch your legs out in front of you, bend the right knee up, step your right foot over the left thigh, and we take our twist. So this is always a good one to get into the outer hip and into the glutes. Those are parts of our body that tend to get really tight, particularly at night when we're sleeping, because we're not using them. So you think about it, if you're getting minimum 5-6 hours of sleep a night, that's 5 or 6 hours that you're not moving that part of your body. And that's why our hips are so tight in the mornings, is we haven't been walking around keeping them warm. So this is one of my favorite warm-up poses, as you all know. All right, let's untwist. Take the right leg straight, bend the left knee up, step over, and twist off to the other side. Check in with your right foot, keep the ankle flexed, keep the toes pointing straight up, and then each time you breathe in, chest goes up, top of the head goes up even higher, and keep focusing on lifting your upper back. Use your in-breath to lift the spine. Keep that lift and untwist yourself. Now we're making our way back onto hands and knees. We're going straight into a baby down dog. Once you're there, align thighs over the knees and take your arms forward, sinking your forehead, stretching the arms out. If you need to, you drop those elbows and forearms to the ground. Let the shoulders sink. Relax the back of your neck and relax your throat. And really sink with the feet. Sink with the ankles. And walking back up onto your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under. Press up into downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, you can pedal or just squeeze it down into heels. Get a little bit warmer into those hips. Okay, so now we're warming into the actual joint fluid when you're moving the bones of the legs. From here, we're going to walk the feet forwards, standing forward bend at the top of the mat. Just sink down, knees can be bent or straight. Hang your head, you can roll it out a little bit, and then shift your weight forwards into the fronts of the feet and the toes. Don't lean back into your bum. Each time you breathe out, feel the chest and the forehead sink deeper. So that's a releasing into the heaviness of the exhale, not a pushing down with the top of the head. It's feeling how you sink into gravity through your breaths. And then from here, we're going back into downwards facing dog. You're going to go straight down onto knees. We're taking a twist. Right leg back behind you, tuck your toes into the floor, slide your right palm underneath your nose, and then left hand to the left hip. Take the twist. Feel the lower back of that left hand. Are you dropping the right thumb down? Lift the right hip and bum up higher. And if it's comfortable for you, left arm goes all the way up. You don't have to lift up. You can keep hand on your hip, depending on how you're feeling in your body right now. Keep the breath flowing. And we untwist, hand and knee down. Taking your left leg straight back, tuck the toes, move the left hand a little bit closer to your right hand, then right hand to the right hip with your palm on the sacrum, the lower back. Feel if you're dropping the left hip down, lift it up high. Then if you want to take a deep and lift your arm all the way up, go for it. Don't let that hip sink. Often we get into the alignment, and a few seconds later, we lose our concentration and the alignment disappears. Keep the left hip going up. And then back onto hands and knees. And making your way back into your down dog again. From down dog, we're taking feet straight forwards to your hands, standing forward bend. Next in breath, float your arms all the way up. And on an exhale, bring hands to heart. Straight back up again with the next inhale. On your exhale, circle and forward fold. As you breathe in, lengthen the spine, and then keep breathing as you take yourself back to your downward dog. Either staying in your down dog or taking the transition, inhale forwards to plank, lowering down on your exhale. If you need to, knees drop first, then the chest, point the toes as you go into your back bend, and then back to hold your downwards facing dog. Keep squeezing down into heels. Knees can be bent or straight here. Do what feels right for your legs and for your joints. And taking your feet forwards to your hands, standing forward bend again. And we're going to take a lunge. We're going to take the right leg back, just like you just did on your shins. Keeping right hand on the floor, left hand to the left hip, or if it's comfortable for you, left arm straight up. You can look down to the floor or to the side, or if it's comfortable on the neck, looking up to that top thumb. Whichever way you're turning your head, keep breathing. never holding the breath. And then we're going to go to a low lunge. Drop your back knee, taking your arms up alongside your ears. Either looking forwards or looking up, your choice. Try to feel for square hips here. Don't twist the right hip back and the left hip forward. On an exhale, taking hands down. We're going to step the right foot forward. Before you step, squeeze your tummy up tight, then take it forward. Then we go to the other side. Left leg back, left hand down, either right hand to the right hip or right arm all the way up. Okay, turn your head in the direction that feels right for you. And that might be different on each side. Some of us have extreme tension in one side of the neck and it's not in the other side. Well, don't force it to be the same. That's just going to make the tension worse. And bringing your hand down, back knee to the floor, arms float up, warrior one arms. Feel what the pelvis is doing. Is the right hip going forwards and the left hip going back just because that right foot is forward right now? Roll the left hip forward and draw the right thigh bone back. And then taking hands to the floor. Now we're stepping forwards again, so squeeze the belly tight, then step up. We're going to stay here and take another twist. Take your feet to the sides of your mat. Hook your fingers over your left calf or ankle, or maybe it's even over the knee if you're a little bit higher. Knees can be bent. Either left arm straight up or left hand on the left hip. This is all about the shoulder. So keep lifting your left shoulder as high as you can. And then notice if you're bending one knee more than the other. Either bend evenly or stretch both straight. Staying in the forward bend, take your left hand over your other leg. Either right hand to the right hip or right arm straight up. Either way, it's all about the shoulder. So feel the right shoulder. Try and lift the shoulder more than anything, not the hand or the arm. If that arm is stretched up, it's the shoulder that you want to feel and move and align. Now when we come out of the twist, we'll stay here. You can either just hang the arms or hold the forearms. Hold onto the legs. Let your head droop down. Relax the back of the neck. So we want the top of the head to point down, not your nose. If your nose is pointing to the floor, that's creating a lot of tension in the back of the head and the back of the neck. That's not going to serve you in any good way. So let it relax, soften those muscles, and be heavy in your head, fully relaxed in your face. And now we're going to bring feet in. We're going back into a lunge again. We're taking the right leg back. Take your front knees over your front heel and then lift your chest up. We'll bring hands together in namaste. Lift elbows high in line with the wrists. And then we twist. Right elbow either to the left thigh or hooking over. And if you look at my forearms here, we don't have the left elbow straight up over the right elbow. It's back at a diagonal angle. And then I'm lifting my chest up away from the floor. I'm not leaning into this right shoulder over here. I'm keeping that right shoulder lifting, keeping my chest lifting. So I'm nice and strong and all the joints are supported. Let's take hands down. Let's step forward, tight belly as you step. Keep breathing as you take your left leg back. Pause and check the alignment of the right knee over the right heel. Then lift yourself all the way up. Hands to chest. Don't droop your elbows. Lift them up high. Taking left elbow over the right leg. or just resting on the top of the thigh or the knee. And then again, your forearms are back at a diagonal angle. Don't try and point your right elbow straight up over your left elbow to the roof. Keep breathing. And we're taking hands down to the floor. And you turn your back heel in and down behind you and walk your hands around to the left side of the mat. Turn your feet parallel. Sink all the way down for our wide leg forward bend, a Prasarita Padottanasana. Now, once you're here, make sure you're pushing your knees out away from each other. Don't lean your weight into your inner calves and your inner ankles. Lift the inner ankles and press them out as well. Just like the standing forward bend at the top of the mat, hang your head down. Let the muscles in the back of your neck relax and release. From here, we're going to roll all the way up to standing. We're going to take a short triangle on each side. Left toes turn to the back of your mat. Spread your arms wide, taking a deep breath, and as you breathe out, folding over. Either hand to shin, you can have a hand on your other hand on your hip if you need to, or slide a little bit deeper, hand closer to the ankle or on the ankle, or if you're able to, it's palm or fingers on the ground on the inside of the foot. Now, careful here, the lower that you go down in your triangle, the more you'll start to round in the spine. And then you get this banana shape in the spine, right? So we want to, and in the ribs, we want to flatten out each side body. Don't crunch in the left ribs and waist and overextend in the right ribs and waist. Now, on an in-breath, we come all the way up. Keep the arms wide as you turn your left toes in, right toes turn out. On an exhale, fold to the other side. Again, left hand can be on your hip or stretching straight up. And the other thing to watch out for in the triangle is you're not tilting your head down like that with your ear to your shoulder. Keep both sides of the neck long. Both shoulders moving away from your chest towards your upper back. And then check in that you're not rounding these ribs up and over crunching the right ribs and waist. Flatten out the two sides of your body. With an inhale, we're coming all the way up to center. Turn the right toes in, heel toe, or hop your feet together. All the way to touch. Big toes together, knees together. We're bringing hands to chest. On an out breath, we're going to take a twisting chair. You bend your knees, right elbow over left knee or thigh. Okay, now you stay like that. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see. Unlike your lunge, now we're trying to get the left elbow straight up over the right elbow. And the lower you drop your hips, the deeper you'll be able to twist. On an inhale, coming all the way up to center. On an out breath, twist it off to the other side. Try not to do that with the bum up and the chest down. Get your butt down nice and low so you're really working the leg muscles. You really have to work all those teeny muscles in your torso and your pelvis to balance yourself here. If this feels really easy for you, you're either super strong and super flexible or your alignment is off. Coming all the way up to standing. Good, guys. Now we're going to be moving into a twisting triangle. On an inhale, float your arms up. On your exhale, forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart now. And from here, we're stepping the right leg back. Turn the right heel in and down and stretch the left knee straight. Now, depending on the tension in your muscles, in your legs and back, sometimes it's very difficult to get that back heel down. If that's the case for you, bring the back foot further forward. Okay? Same thing, if you step back and you can't get the front knee straight, don't stay like that. Step the back foot further forward. Okay, so both legs are straight, back heel in and down. We're either keeping right hand on the floor, right hand on your shin and ankle, left hand to the left hip. Turning your chest towards that front leg. Either staying with hand on the hip or the full twisting triangle, arm all the way up. So one of the mistakes that we make in a twisting triangle is the hips go in the direction of the chest. We lean back towards the spine. The hand is far away from the foot, and we lose the release in the back. We lose that release over the outer hip and thigh. So try not to do that. Bringing your hand down. We're going to step forwards and then take the left leg back. So again, you step as far back as is right for you, and it might be different on each side. Front leg straight, back heel turns in and down, back heel on the floor. Balancing on your left hand, either on the floor or on your ankle or shin, and then either right hand to the right hip or right arm all the way up. And once more, make sure you're not moving your bum towards the right and your shoulders towards the left. We're trying to have everything in a straight line, the same straight line, with both shoulders over that right leg. Deep breathing. And then both hands to the ground. We're going back to one more downwards facing dog. We're going to hold it for a few breaths. Make sure that your feet are aligned. So just like when we're in standing forward bend, outer edges of the feet are parallel to each other in a downwards facing dog. And then we're coming down onto shins and making our way to seated. So take your legs straight out in front of you. And we're going straight into Janu Shasana. So let's bring left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Sink the thigh and the knee down. Flex into your right ankle. Don't flop your foot. Keep the toes straight up. And then either tipping forwards onto hands on the floor or hands on your shin, on your ankle, or holding onto the foot. Just keep these toes straight up. Keep your knees straight up. So your knee is actually more important than what you're doing with your foot. That knee is going to point straight up because it really affects the alignment in the hip. If you flop your knee out, that's when the foot flops out. That's going to tighten into the glutes here, which you're trying to stretch out. So it's counterproductive to tighten the muscles you're supposed to be stretching and then try and stretch them out while they're also tightening. So the alignment here is going to help you to get the release in the correct way. Okay, coming all the way up. Let's change legs. Left leg straight, right foot up, knee points straight up, toes point straight up, and then tipping forward. And you'll see on my back, it's a lot easier to keep the spine straight the higher up you are. The more you start to fold down, the more the back rounds. So make sure that you're not doing this, right? So right now there's quite a lot of space between my chest and my thigh, and my spine is already rounding. You want it to be flat instead. When you're down all the way on the thigh, it's quite difficult not to have that little bit of a rounded back. So that's okay. If you're flat down on your chest, on your leg, your back will round a little bit. Don't worry about that. If you're up higher, then you want a completely flat spine. And then coming all the way up, both legs straight. We take one last forward fold, reaching out for your shins, or again, you can have hands on the floor. Same principle in the spine. The more you start to fold forward, the more your back will want to round. Keep stretching the chest forward. Once your chest is on your thighs, then you're allowed to sink and let the spine curve a little bit. But it's not rounding like a ball. There's a difference. Lengthen through the sides and the back of the neck and keep your chin out of your throat. Good, everyone. We're coming up. We're going to make our way onto backs for 2 minutes of Shavasana, 2 minutes of rest. So get yourself comfortable. Close your eyes and allow yourself to fully sink down and fully let go for the next 2 minutes. Just a really short Shavasana to go with our really short twisting practice. And now you're going to take in a nice deep breath. Reach your arms out over your head and give yourself a really good, nice, long stretch out through your whole body. Maybe hugging your knees or bending the knees and rolling your thighs side to side. And then from here, gently and carefully, rock yourself all the way up to sitting. May our minds be open to the divine light that guides us. May our hearts be open to the divine love that surrounds us. May the angels keep us and bless us and bring us joy. Namaste, everyone.